Hey guys, welcome back to Lamp for the Path. So we're on a little walk here, but I want to talk to you about something. I used to read Philippians chapter 2, verse 12, and feel this pressure sitting underneath it. Work out your own salvation. And even if nobody says it out loud, it can start to feel like, how much of this is actually on me? How much of this am I supposed to be doing? And where does God actually come in? But when you read the full passage, it completely reframes everything because Paul isn't putting the pressure on you. He's actually removing it. So I want to read this the way it was meant to be heard as one thought. I'm pretty sure I have this memorized, so bear with me if I have some typos. But he says, "My beloved ones, just as you have always listened to everything I taught you in the past, I'm keeping you now to following my instructions as though I am right there with you. Continue to make this new life fully manifested in you as you live in the holy awe of God, which brings you trembling into his presence. God will continually revitalize you, implanting within you the passion to do what pleases him." That's one thought. And if you separate it, you miss what Paul's actually saying. Because at first it sounds like responsibility, right? Fear and trembling, and it's a little bit scary. But by the end, you realize that God is the one doing the heavy lifting. He starts with "my beloved ones," which means this isn't coming from distance. This is instruction coming from relationship. He's not speaking to people trying to earn something. He's speaking to people who are already loved, already chosen, already brought in. So everything he says after that is built on identity, not pressure. God does not ask you to become something before calling you beloved. Then he says to continue to make this new life fully manifested. That's the same idea as work out your salvation. It doesn't mean to earn it, prove it, or build it. It means let what has already been placed inside of you become visible in your real life. And one way to picture that is like kneading dough. If you've ever made bread, you take what's already been put in the dough and you work it through until it spreads everywhere. Or think about yeast or leaven, right? Kingdom, it's like leaven. It only takes a tiny amount, but once it's in the dough, it doesn't stay in one spot. It moves through the whole thing. It changes the texture of everything. And that's what this is talking about. God has already placed something inside of you. And now it's being worked through your entire life until it touches everything. Your decisions, your reactions, your patterns. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about letting what God has already done become visible in your life. Then it says to live in the holy awe of God, which brings you trembling into his presence. And this is where it helps to understand something. The Bible wasn't written in English, and English is actually a really limited language compared to Greek or Hebrew. So if we just read words like fear at face value, we can misunderstand what's being said. When you look at the original language, that word for fear is closer to reverence or awe. It's a deep awareness of who God is. And trembling isn't panic. It's the recognition of what's happening in you, that it's not something you can produce on your own. It's that moment where you realize this is holy and I don't have control over it. So instead of creating pressure, it actually creates dependence. It brings you into a posture where you're aware, you're attentive, and you're not trying to take over something that belongs to God. Fear and trembling isn't about being afraid of God. So if you've heard the, angry father motif, that's not it. It's about being aware that you can't replace him. And then everything shifts. God will continually revitalize you. Gosh, what a good promise. So now we move from what feels like your responsibility into what's actually his role, implanting with you the passion to do what pleases him. So God is doing two things. He's giving you the desire and he's giving you the ability. Even the passion to follow him comes from him. Even the strength to walk it out comes from him. You are not the source of your transformation. You are the place where it happens. So now you have both sides. You make it manifest. God revitalizes and implants. You respond. That's it. It's simple. You respond. God produces. And this is where people get off balance because we either try to carry it all ourselves or we disengage completely. But Paul is describing something in between, a partnership, co-laboring with God, a cooperation, right? And this is what it means. This is what it actually looks like in real life. You start noticing your desire shifting, your responses changing, strength showing up where it didn't exist before. That doesn't even make sense. Not because you forced it, but because something is being worked in you like that dough. And your role is not to create that or manufacture that. Your role is to cooperate with it. You don't have to force growth. You just have to stay aligned with what God's already doing. So if this verse has ever felt heavy to you, it's probably because you were holding the first part without the second part. Because when you see both together, it becomes an invitation instead of a burden. You are called to take your life with God seriously, but you are not the one carrying the weight of becoming because He is the one working in you. So the question becomes, where are you trying to produce something that God is actually asking you to partner with Him in? If this spoke to you, this little version, I'd love to hear what stood out, and I'll see you in the next one. Blessings.